I became a Christian when I was 7. My family comes from the largest denomination of the conservative evangelical movement, the Southern Baptist Convention. Southern Baptists believe that people become reconciled to God when they believe that Jesus is the Son of God, who died for the sins of all humankind, and when they state that belief in a prayer. That prayer is called the Sinner's Prayer, a name that says a lot about what it's like to grow up in that wing of the church. Southern Baptists believe that all people are born sinners. Humans are in love with pleasure, power, and prestige, and our natural inclination is to follow our sinful natures into all sorts of trouble. This isn't too far-fetched an idea. I carry 40 pounds of evidence of this tendency around my midsection. But most Southern Baptists take it further, believing that people are completely hopeless without God, and that anyone who isn't saved through faith in Jesus goes to hell, an actual physical place of eternal, fiery torment and suffering. This concept can do a number on the imagination of a 7-year-old kid, which was the age my friends and I were when we heard it. Many children express interest in salvation right around the time they're old enough to grasp this concept of eternal torment. Some of my friends remember having nightmares in which their unsaved friends roasted in fiery pits while they looked down from heaven's paradise. I'm thankful to report that this wasn't my experience. I was fortunate to grow up in a congregation that focused on the hope of salvation, a message that was much more carrot than stick. People at my family's church talked about having Jesus in your heart and the Holy Spirit in your life. God was someone who helped you make the right decisions, understand the Bible, and find peace no matter what was happening around you. That sounded wonderful to my small ears. One night, after coming home from church, I interrogated my parents about salvation. Even as a kid, I was never the kind of person who accepts information without scrutiny, and I wanted to see if I could find or poke any holes in this salvation concept. I don't remember this conversation, but my mother tells me it was remarkably businesslike. I wanted to know how exactly the process worked. What words did I say to be saved? What did God do exactly when I said those words? How would I know that God was doing his part? After nearly an hour, my curiosity was sated, and I went to get ready for bed. I usually fall asleep quickly, but I couldn't that night. I felt a sense of urgency, an energy pulsing through my bones. I knew I needed to ask Jesus into my heart, so I grabbed my mom and told her it was time, that I was ready to know him. Mom asked a few questions and then led me in that sinner's prayer as we knelt beside my bed, an altar covered with Snoopy sheets.